Snow and cold temperatures are slowing rescue teams as they continue to search for survivors. We spoke to a USC student from Turkey about the devastation and how we can help.
Donations are piling up. USC students are dropping off blankets and clothes. We're live at the home of the Turkish Consulate General.
And it's the moment Lakers fans are still talking about. We'll take you to the crypto arena where LeBron James made history.
Annenberg TV News is next.
USC students are trying to help the survivors of the 7.8 earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Hi, I'm Ethan Huang.
I'm Rachel Hallett. The cold weather is slowing down rescuers, but didn't stop the support from all over the world. The death toll continues to rise after the devastating earthquake hit Turkey and Syria on Monday. More than 12,000 people have been killed. The disaster sparked rescue efforts from across the globe, including here on campus. Melisa Clay is a Turkish student helping the affected communities with USC's Turkish Graduate Student Association.
I've seen people just shouting for help and taking videos, just trying to get help. I've seen moms crying over their daughters' bodies, and our government isn't doing anything. It means that however much money we get, they double it before they send it to any of the donation funds. Us, only as USC students, we made just about $2,000, so that's a gigantic impact.
To donate to the cause, Venmo at USC_TGSA. The money collected will be matched and donated to Turkish organizations that assist directly with relief. Now let's go live to Mya Vinnett out in Hancock Park, where she is meeting with members of the Turkish consulate, where they're packaging secondhand donations that will be sent abroad.
Thanks, Rachel. We're here outside of the home of the Consulate General of Turkey, where people have been working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day since the earthquake hit not only the country of Turkey, but the region at large. Now, there are 7 consulates in the United States, and these consulates represent the country on foreign soil. At the consulate in Los Angeles, people, again, have been working every day since the earthquake hit to send anything they can to the region impacted. Now, the things that are being sent include blankets, clothes, food. We talked to one USC student today about not only the devastation, but the donations. And here's what he had to say.
In fact, it is a humanitarian crisis that not just considered Turkey and the people there, but also the global community as well. So right now, we all have a responsibility to whatever we can do to donate stuff, to donate personal hygiene equipment, whatever we can do.
Now, one message we kept getting today during our time here was to use our privilege for good. The people of Turkey and the region will be recovering from this disaster not just for days or weeks, but years to come. So anything that we can give, donate, do, or send to the region is not only appreciated, but absolutely essential in helping those impacted move forward. For Annenberg TV News, I'm Mya Vinnett, outside the home of the Consulate General to Turkey.
Is Los Angeles infrastructure prepared for an earthquake to the magnitude of the recent 7.8 Turkey quake? The city's scramble to retrofit old buildings could be a major indicator of more work to be done. The devastating earthquake in Turkey has many Southern Californians wondering how prepared we are for what some fear will be the big one. 8 years ago, the city of LA mandated vulnerable structures were to be properly fit with the right earthquake precautions. The pins on the left-hand side show buildings not up to code in 2014, and the pins on the right show which buildings are still not up to date in 2019.
The State of the Union is strong.
President Joe Biden's approval rating went up after his second State of the Union speech. He addressed the country last night with a message of unity and bipartisanship. Biden discussed key issues such as gun control and health care. We got reactions on campus to the president's address.
pointing out that, Republicans have historically been against universal health care, Medicare and Medicaid, which are services that millions of Americans use and benefit from. And pointing that out, I think, was a very smart move.
It was a masterful performance by the president. He's not a great orator, but he clearly demonstrated his political chops on that meeting, in that event, not just from the way the speech was structured and its content, but how he handled the ad lib direct conversations, in quotes, with some of his Republican hecklers. It was a performance for the ages.
Biden's approval rating jumped to 47% compared to the 39% before his address. The president has yet to announce if he will be seeking another term in the White House.
USC researchers may have cracked the code with how misinformation starts. Their study on 2,400 Facebook users found that platforms are more responsible than the users for spreading so-called fake news. Researchers found that 15% of regular news sharers spread 30 to 40% of false information due to the habits these platforms encourage. An author of the article explained how people can avoid sharing in this harmful way.
Once you have a habit, if you are trying to break it, you have to change the environment in which you perform that behavior usually. So actually, it's tough for users to stop themselves, right? Because they don't have much control over the actual interface. For individual users, you can use apps that help you reduce the amount of time you spend on social media.
USC professor and psychologist Wendy Wood said, "Our findings show that misinformation isn't spread through a deficit of users. It's really a function of the structure of the social media sites themselves." All the talk today is a 39-year record shattered by King LeBron James. Reporter Ali Anthony spoke to fans about the monumental sports moment.
Coming to the end of the third quarter, LeBron James, a shot at history, and there it is! LeBron stands alone!
Once considered an unbreakable NBA scoring record was broken last night by the kid from Akron, Ohio. 38-year-old LeBron James took in the surreal moment that brought tears to his eyes. The King now sits on the throne of the basketball fortress with 38,390 points. Proud fans say this is an iconic moment in sports.
I was a little afraid because 36 points is a lot, but as he kept getting closer and closer, you could feel the energy from everyone in the arena, and it's just a huge explosion, man. It's once in a lifetime.
I bought my tickets a month ago on the whim that, you know what, based on what he's scoring, he's going to break it tonight. Nobody believed me. Nobody validated anything that I was saying, and LeBron did it.
I mean, I don't know what else there is for him to do. He's done it all, but I can't wait to see what else is left.
All I care about is that the record was broken, and I'm glad that I was here to see it.
Right behind me is a statue of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who in 1984 set the record with over 38,000 points. The six-time MVP captain was one of the first people last night to congratulate LeBron for his historic accomplishment. One sports reporter says that he never thought he would witness a moment in sports quite like this.
Having Kareem there last night was like passing the torch. Like, all right, I held this down for 40 years. Like, I never thought that we will see a guy catch Kareem, because it takes not only great talent and consistency, but just that longevity that Kareem was able to show.
Fans are still in awe of a player who may be the greatest in hoops history.
I just kind of feel starstruck, even though LeBron's not here. It's kind of like those records that you won't see in the next 40 years.
It was just amazing to see someone who is dedicated to what he loves to do break something like that.
And who knows, maybe one day LeBron will join Kareem, Wilt, and Shaq outside of the Lakers' home. For Annenberg Media, I'm Ali Anthony.
ChatGPT is taking over the Microsoft search engine Bing. We'll have details.
The USC Latin Fusion Dance Club shows off its moves and invites everyone to join its monthly salsa night.
And find out who is behind the winning Formula SAE team at Saturday's race. We'll be right back.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
USC's School of Pharmacy was renamed today. The late American physicist Alfred E. Mann will now have his name branded on USC's School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in East Los Angeles, a gift given in his honor. USC President Carol Folt described the school as, quote, one of the pathways to the future. USC Mann has a record of invention. Researchers have achieved 35 patients. The school also has a history of degree programs, including the first doctorate degree in regulatory science.
The newest version of Microsoft's search engine Bing will be powered by the artificial intelligence software ChatGPT, potentially revolutionizing the way that we use the internet in our everyday lives. The revamped search engine not only provides more precise results, but can now provide paragraph-length responses with links and citations. It also features an AI chat sidebar that can write out vacation plans, summarize articles, provide recipes, and perform other search-related tasks. While it's currently only available to a limited set of users, the new Bing has already made waves in the tech industry, as Google has released plans to include its own AI software into its search engine. Valentine's Day is coming up, and what better way to celebrate with your significant other than trying out a new style of dance? Now to Ingrid to hear about her time at Salsa Night.
Thank you, Rachel. Good evening and welcome to Off the Grid, where I shine a light on unique talents at USC. This week, I visited the Latin fusion dance team Break On 2. The group performs vibrant salsa and bachata dance routines around Los Angeles, and they also host weekly club meetings that are open to all USC students. I spoke with a few members at their monthly Salsa Night event.
We are a club that's very much open to all levels. So even our dance team, we have people who have never danced before that come here to learn.
It's a partner dance, salsa and bachata. Most Latin dances are. So you're dancing with a partner the whole time, which is really great because our team has gotten super close.
Latin dance is something that you can pick up fairly easily and kind of carry throughout your life by going to social dance scenes, and that's what makes it really special.
You can also join in the festivities. Break On 2 hosts Open Salsa Night the first Friday of every month, where you can get lessons and participate in social dancing. Later this semester, the team will perform a showcase in Bovard Auditorium. Now, time to check in with Shelly to see how the weather is shaping up for the weekend.
Thanks, Ingrid. That sounds amazing. I'm thinking we might have to plan to make it to the next Salsa Night. Get ready to get your tan on this week as temperatures continue to rise and the UV gets even higher. Tonight, temperatures are around 60, but let's look to the 5-day forecast to see just how hot you can expect this weekend to get. Today has been a beautiful day in Los Angeles, and I have been going outside at every chance possible. It's been a high of 74, but tomorrow jumps to a high of 80 and a low of 49. This amazing weather will keep into Friday with a high of 78, which is looking like a perfect day to take advantage of the warm weather and head over to the beach before Saturday drops to a high of 60 and low of 47. Sunday, a high of 67, low of 42, and Monday back up to a high of 69 and 46. The groundhog might have seen a shadow last week, but it's still definitely starting to look like spring in Los Angeles.
NASCAR's Clash at the Coliseum race may be in the rearview mirror, but the USC Racing Club won't be breaking anytime soon. Reporter Gabriella takes us on a ride with one of the club's hardest working leaders.
Most motorsport races begin with the classic phrase, "Gentlemen, start your engines." But at the USC versus UCLA Formula SAE race, that statement wasn't applicable. Meet Amani Gonam, shown here surrounded by her USC Racing Club teammates.
My role on the team is chief engineer and project manager, so personally I spend quite a bit of time on the team.
But Amani isn't just any leader. She's the first female leader the club has ever had.
It feels very empowering. I hope that girls that I hope to be in a similar position one day of, leading a SAE team or whatever it may be, feel like they're empowered and encouraged.
After a year of careful preparation, Amani and her team finally unveiled the product of their hard work.
You have a set of specifications, you have customers, you brainstorm ideas, you build things, you break things, you try again, and you test and you test and you test.
And after all of that testing, the number 36 car was ready to start its engine. And for Amani, the sound of it firing up meant more than just the start of the race.
All the pieces came together, like, me being here at USC and NASCAR coming to Los Angeles.
After fueling up, suiting up, and a quick pep talk from Amani.
Oh, which one? Do you need something loosened?
USC Racing took to the track.
This race is comprised of 10 laps around the same track used by professional NASCAR racers at the Clash at the Coliseum. The school with the shortest time recorded will be the winner.
The UCLA car proved a speedy competitor, but a technicality from their team placed the winning trophy in Amani's deserving hands. Unlike the cars on the track, Amani's focus never drifted. She ensured the car's reliability by completing extra tests before the race, ultimately securing the team's victory.
When you're around males all the time, you start to feel sort of like, even if you're doing the same thing as them, it's not as good. There are so many bright women out there, and I really do encourage them to, be here in motorsport if they want to be here.
The checkered flag may have signaled the end of this race, but Amani's journey with the team and her future in the motorsport world is far from the finish line. For Annenberg Media, I'm Gabriella Rudy.
Coming up in sports, the King is crowned following his historic shot in Los Angeles. The Pac-12 has a couple names on his radar for potential expansion. And with the Super Bowl on Sunday, we take a look at the two quarterbacks and make our picks for the big game. All that and more coming up next on Sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Westbrook to James at the elbow. James turns, the crowd wants it. James free throw line. James fade, jumper, good! NBA history in Los Angeles.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kyla-Drew.
And I'm MJ Newsom. Following his historic performance last night, LeBron James has no expectations of slowing down anytime soon. Now in his 20th season with his third different team, the King has 2 years left on his current deal that will keep him in Los Angeles through the 2024-2025 season. James has 4 championships and is still searching for his 5th. Despite his great year, the Lakers are on the outside looking in for this year's postseason. In the postgame interview on TNT, Shaquille O'Neal asked LeBron if he's done playing now that he's eclipsed the record. LeBron's answer, no way. Kyla-Drew, LeBron, as I mentioned, is now in his 20th season at age 38. How much longer do you think the King has left in the tank?
I think he's got a lot of time left in the tank. I mean, he said countless times again that he wants to play with his son, Bronny James, who is a senior in high school. So I think he has 4 or 5 plus years left, and I'm not complaining.
Absolutely. I think he's definitely got some years left. But obviously, let's go take a look back at Tom Brady, retired last season, and then came out of retirement because he wanted to play a little bit longer. And now just last week he said he was done for good. So obviously we can take LeBron's word for it, but we'll have to see how time goes and what happens in the future.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. The Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles have landed and began practices in Arizona for the 57th Super Bowl that will be played this Sunday at 3:30 p.m. and aired on Fox. This marks the first time there have been 2 black starting quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl.
I think it's history. I think it's something that's worthy of being noted, and it is history. You know, it's come a long way. I think there's only been 7 African-American quarterbacks to play in the Super Bowls.
If we can continue to show that we can consistently be great, I think it'll just continue to open doors for other kids growing up to follow their dreams and be a quarterback of an NFL team. And it's good that we have guys like Jalen on the other side because he's a great person and obviously a great quarterback.
Both quarterbacks are in talks to be this year's MVP. And I mean, look at their stats. They are impressive in their own right, but Mahomes is the leading NFL passer with 5,250 yards and 41 touchdowns. Now, MJ, what are you most excited for about the Super Bowl?
Well, Kyla-Drew, I didn't come here today wearing my green tie for nothing. I'm excited to watch the Philadelphia Eagles play, but there's a certain reason why. It's that little Bama bias in me coming out. I can't wait to watch Jalen Hurts play in the Super Bowl. The first time in my lifetime that an Alabama quarterback has played on a big NFL stage. He's had a great regular season, a great playoffs. I can't wait to see what he does in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, now I don't know about rooting for the Eagles as a Cowboys fan, but I am always rooting for Hurts and Mahomes, and I'm definitely rooting for Rihanna for that halftime show.
Rumor has it the Pac-12 is looking to expand with the upcoming departure of USC and UCLA. The 2 teams in mind, CBS sports analyst Dennis Dodd says SMU and San Diego State. One of the main reasons for targeting expansion is the new media rights deal that the Pac-12 is yet to sign. An expansion would strengthen its footing in signing a bigger deal with ESPN and a heavy reliance on a streaming service. The deal is said to be worth around $30 to $35 million. Kyla-Drew, do you think this is a good move for the Pac-12? And if so, what other teams do you think should be considered in this expansion, if any?
You know, with USC and UCLA leaving the Pac-12, they definitely have to seek replacement to keep the value of the conference. So I think it's a great idea for the Pac-12 to expand.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I'm very on board right now with San Diego State being in geographically. SMU maybe not so much. I think there's one team that's being left out of consideration. It's the boys in Idaho, the Smurf Turf, the Boise State Broncos. Ever since Chris Peterson took control of head coach back in the early 2000s, that team has been really good. 3-0 in Fiesta Bowls. We all know about the trickeration that came against Oklahoma back in 2007. And the Broncos have the 5th best winning percentage all time in college football. It's proven these guys can win. I think it's time we see them on a bigger stage in a bigger conference.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see if they think your Boise State team is good enough for the Pac-12. Kyrie Irving will play his first game with the Dallas Mavericks tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers after requesting a trade from Brooklyn. The 8-time All-Star was traded from the Nets on Monday. Irving is reportedly ecstatic to be a Maverick and looking forward to playing alongside Luka Doncic. Irving and Doncic together form a dynamic duo and make the Dallas Mavericks strong contenders in the Western Conference. Well, that's a wrap on ATVN Sports. I'm Kyla-Drew.
And I'm MJ Newsom. We'll see you next week.
Conductor Gustavo Dudamel will be leaving the LA Phil. Find out why the conducting director at USC says he will be missed.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
The famed director of the Los Angeles Philharmonic is leaving for New York after more than a decade with the orchestra. Gustavo Dudamel has led the LA Phil since 2009, conducting the orchestra at the Hollywood Bowl and the Walt Disney Concert Hall. With his iconic hair and charisma, he brought classical music to new audiences. He has conducted for various films and even the Super Bowl, working with artists like Beyoncé and John Williams. A USC music conductor who once met Dudamel spoke about his impact.
His way of conducting is always about the music, not about the notes. It's very personal, it's very revelatory in the way that he's invested in every aspect of what it means to conduct. I think he's invited younger audiences to take an interest in classical music, and not just in LA, but broadly. And I think that he has created a sense that classical music, in fact, is a living entity rather than a historical thing that we should worship like some altar from the past.
The LA Phil will stay under Dudamel's baton until 2026 when he takes over the New York Philharmonic.
An exciting new addition to the wizarding world of Harry Potter is headed our way Friday. Warner Brothers and Avalanche Software announced forces to create Hogwarts Legacy, an all-inclusive action role-playing game. The game is coming out for PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series XS. Pre-orders are selling fast like tickets to a Taylor Swift concert, but many gamers are boycotting it to protest the franchise's controversial creator, J.K. Rowling, for comments she made about the trans community. Here's what one fan had to say.
It's huge. It's the first Harry Potter game we've had in years. It's my Harry Potter dreamscape, but I can't in good conscience support it. And if worse comes to worse, I'll just buy it on sale at GameStop so the money goes to them and not, everybody else.
Despite the criticism, the game has become a best-selling pre-order with online vendors like Amazon.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Ethan Huang.
And I'm Rachel Hallett. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.